Welcome to Health Talk. I'm Dr. Manny. An Alzheimer's disease diagnosis changes everything. It erases memories and your loved one's personality, but it also changes how you can communicate with each other. This can be very difficult for couples to endure. My guest today found a unique approach to keep his love strong when his wife was diagnosed. Dr. Edward Shaw is the co-author of Keeping Love Alive as Memories Fade, the 5 Love Languages, and the Alzheimer's Journey. Welcome.
Thank you.
Very inspirational book, Doc. Tell me about your wife's diagnosis.
My wife was diagnosed in 2007 at the age of 53 with mild cognitive impairment, which is a pre-Alzheimer's-like condition. Within a year, she progressed to early Alzheimer's disease, and the disease progressed relentlessly over her 9-year journey.
At a very young age, she had the diagnosis.
Yes.
Very young age. So what was it like for the family?
Well, when we got the diagnosis, we were confused and we were devastated. Confused because at that time, Rebecca's main symptom was memory loss. Devastated because her doctor said, this is a progressive neurodegenerative disease, it's untreatable, we don't have medication to slow the progression, and you're going to lose her within 8 to 10 years. My daughters at that time were just 20, 22, and 24.
Wow. I'm sorry that was the journey. So why was it important for you to keep that love alive during that journey? And I love that word love because it's, it really encompasses so many things. But what was it important for you?
Well, Rebecca and I had a really special relationship. We met in our sophomore year of college. We fell in love instantly. Within 3 weeks, we talked about getting married. In 1980, 4 years after we met, we were married. 8 years later, we had those 4 daughters. But we had exchanged vows to each other. When you're 20-something, you don't think about in sickness and in health until death do you part. But when she was diagnosed, those vows were more important than anything to me. And I loved her and wanted to cross the finish line loving her.
So one of the things that you incorporated in that journey is the 5 Love Language book. So tell me about that application. That's a very classic book that has really brought the attention that there are different ways to love each other.
Yes.
So tell me how you apply that in your family.
Well, Dr. Chapman says in his 5 Love Language book, there's nothing more important than the need for human love. And in the book, our book, we talk about something called Hesed, intentional and sacrificial love. And so this is the kind of love that I really wanted for Rebecca. And the 5 love languages are a very simple toolkit to help you love somebody. When a person has dementia, they lose their ability to express love, but yet they're able to receive love all the way till the end. And so the 5 love languages provided a way to just different ways to love Rebecca in a very intentional way.
Now, as you mentioned, when she was diagnosed, the first thing that began to happen was memory lapses, right?
Yes.
Which, for a lot of families, when they don't understand what Alzheimer's is, it's kind of frustrating asking the same questions. Mm-hmm. So how did you handle that sort of anxiety moment where you're a professional, so you know what Alzheimer's is all about, but the physical day-to-day living at home, mm-hmm. How did you manage that?
Well, it requires a lot of patience. And one of the things that I do in counseling care partners and families on the journey is to use an application of the 5 love languages called words of affirmation. So when their loved one with dementia asks the same question 10 times, maybe within a 10-minute span, rather than snapping back and saying, if the question was, when are we going to dinner? Rather than saying, I've told you that 10 times in the last 10 minutes, don't ask me again, right. Which is going to leave the care partner feeling bad and also the person with dementia feeling bad. Words of affirmation would be, well, honey, we're going to go to dinner in an hour and I'm really looking forward to being with you tonight. And to do that every minute during that 10 minutes as if it was brand new.
Right. As somebody who saw your personal experience, which is so heartwarming to me, and people begin to alter their mental state. You know, at the beginning might be mild memory loss, but then of course it gets to the more critical phase. Did you change your communication skills to adapt to the different levels of the progression of the disease?
Yes, and so as Rebecca's journey progressed, I had to be more mindful of really all 5 of the love languages and ask the question, you know, in this moment, how can I love her? Is it with words of affirmation? Is it with physical touch? Trying to serve her in some way, trying to share supportive words, or maybe even a gift of some kind. One of the things she loved the most was the gift of an ice cream cone. She wasn't a very materialistic person during her life, didn't particularly even love food. But during her journey, she loved an ice cream cone. And it brought her great joy. And really, for my daughters and I, when we would share one, it brought us as much joy to see her love that ice cream cone as just a small gift.
One of the last questions I'm going to have for you is your family, your daughters in particular, because they're young adults. Did they also use some of the skills that you tried to incorporate in the family environment to deal with their mother's disease?
Yes, they did. And they each had a different language that they spoke to their mother in.
Right.
With one daughter, it was sitting and having a cup of coffee. Another daughter is a musician, and Rebecca loved hearing Leah play her music to her mom. And the other daughter was more physical touch, just sitting next to mom, putting her shoulder on mom's head. So yes, we did. We embraced those love languages as a family.
What's the takeaway message for families more than anything?
And the takeaway message is that there is hope on the journey.
Right.
To know that a loved one who has dementia, though they're losing their cognitive functions like memory, they very much retain the capacity to be loved and to some extent to love all the way to the end of the journey. Okay. And what we hope to share is how to help them do that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Where can people get more information on the book?
The book is available on Amazon.com and also on Dr. Chapman's website, 5lovelanguages.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Very inspirational and a very relevant book for families, and there are millions of families out there that are going through this. Very inspirational, very educational, and really love heals everything as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you have any health questions, tweet me at Dr. Manny on Fox. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.